There you go.
There's so many things, but if I am picking 5, I would say, number 1, don't ignore the red flags. If you see something about the house and you need to know what it's about, ask the questions. Make sure you understand everything that you have questions in your mind about. Just don't ignore the red flags. Get your answers. I would also say that you need to have an inspection so you know what the house is about, you know what the flaws are, what the good things are, but also keep in mind that you are buying a used property, and no property, not even a brand new one, is perfect. So you don't want to miss out on a great house because you're being too picky about the things that need to be done. But if there is something that is big, you need to know that so that you can be prepared for that, maybe save for it, or ask the sellers to pay for it. That is an important one as well. Also, obviously you're going to know the price, but you need to know what your payment is. Sometimes your payments can fluctuate. It's not just the price of the home, but your payments depending upon the tax amount. If you're in a flood zone, flood insurance is extremely expensive. That's going to add to your monthly payment. And also, I like to always tell my buyers that you need your own budget, because nobody knows how much money you like to spend on shoes or car parts or whatever it is you spend money on. So you need your own budget and make sure that those payments fit within it. So before you say yes to, I love this house, this is the one we want, what are your actual payments going to be, and does that make sense for you and your life? It kind of brings me to number 4 is setting yourself up for success. What can you afford? Are you overpaying for the house? Sometimes if you overpay for a house, maybe that's okay. You just need to know. You need to know what that you're overpaying. Or if you are underpaying, why? That may go back to number 1 of the red flags. What is that? Why am I paying less for that? You want to just make sure you're setting yourself up for success for the house. It's an investment and a place to live. And you want to make sure all of that makes sense. If you are going to want to have horses or chickens, are you allowed to do that? You need to, that's what I mean by setting yourself up for success for when you're living in the house. Make sure you have all of that information. And then I would say another one is if it has an HOA. So if it has an HOA, sometimes an HOA has insurance. But what kind of insurance do they have? Do they have a master policy, or do they just have insurance for the common areas? That is going to make a huge difference in what kind of insurance you're going to need, which then makes a difference in your payments. And make sure that they have plenty of reserves. Ask to see their budget. Make sure that it's a solid HOA. If you get into a situation where they don't have a lot of reserves in the bank, or they're not a solid HOA, then you could be in trouble for resale down the line. So that is something you want to know before you say yes to a house. So there's a lot of things, and hopefully your agent can help you out with all of those things and give you the rest of the list. But those would be 5 fairly important things to know.